guys? Welcome to In a Pinch with Patty featuring Quis.
Woo woo.
So, guys, in this episode, we're just going to do our introductions and tell you guys a little bit more about ourselves and what we're trying to accomplish with the podcast. I'll go first. So, contrary to popular belief, my name is not Patty. My name is Charity. We'll get into how Patty's Pastries came along shortly. But I grew up in North Carolina. I went to high school and college in North Carolina. And after I left college, I was just like, Carolina wasn't big enough for me. They didn't offer, the type of job placement that I was looking for. And like, keeping it real, I was a country girl ready to get into the city. So here we are in Fort Lauderdale. Basically, guys, prior to starting up Patty's Pastries, I worked in sales and marketing all my life. So that was definitely a fundamental part in starting my own business. 2019 is when I really started pushing. I was working full time, 40, 50 hours a week in a nice size call center. And I just was not happy. And I made good money, but I just was not happy with the money that I was making. And I really just felt like I was putting a cap on myself. Those of you guys that know me already know, like, I love to cook and I love to make people happy. I'm Italian, so, that's kind of our slogan. So I started baking for my coworkers. And every Wednesday we had Cupcake Wednesday. So I went.
That.
Huh?
I remember that.
Yeah, so had Cupcake Wednesday, and the hustler in me approached management and was like, listen, you're going to Publix paying for these cupcakes, why not just pay me? So honestly, that was where my first order came in. I had one order a week. That was Wednesday for like 24 cupcakes. And then I was like, you know what? One day a week is not enough for me. So and we are smoking, guys. So one day a week was just not enough for me. So I was like, you know what? It wasn't that it wasn't enough, but like, again, the hustler in me, I just saw more money and more potential there. So I started baking. And I brought stuff to work every single day. Cookies, brownies, cakes. And instead of people going to vending machines, they came to me. So fast forward, as everybody knows, 2020, here comes COVID. So when they they sent everybody home, they shut us down. So at home, obviously, you go from making $1,000 or better a week, and then you're home not making any money, so you have to figure it out. So that's what I did. I started baking stuff and posting it on Facebook. Now, as you guys know, like, when it comes to Facebook and IG, I love IG, but Facebook is where it goes down. So if you guys aren't following me, you can follow me at Charity Gray. And make sure you also follow Patty's Pastries. Patties_pastries 254 on Instagram. So I started, I was thinking to myself, I'm very outgoing at work, but I don't really deal with a lot of people in public. So how can I change that? So just throwing a tip in there to you guys, I researched my business groups in my city and I joined several of them. Now, I was thinking to myself, like, hey, I really like bacon, so how can I capitalize on that? Those of you guys that know me personally also know that I love cannabis. So I'm like, cannabis, baking, like, you can't go wrong. And to be honest, there was not a big presence for edibles, that I was aware of. So that's where I started. And it took me like a good 6 months for people to start knowing like who I was, what I offered. But I can tell you this, working for myself, I have worked harder for myself than I've ever worked in my life. So if I could throw a piece of advice out there, which I will give you guys a lot of advice pertaining to small business during the following episodes, but do your research. Do your research, and also know that it takes money to make money. People are all about get rich quick, read a book, read an ebook, watch a few reels, and like now you're ready for business. And like that's really just not how it goes down. Nobody tells you about how you're going to build clientele. Nobody tells you about if you're funding your business out of pocket, which I did. And it's just a lot that people don't talk about. Again, we'll get into that later. So 2020 comes around, they open the world back up at the towards the end, and they called me and asked me to come back to work. And I was very scared, but I also politely declined that invitation, because at the end of the day I looked at it like, listen, I'm going to work 40 hours plus a week. I'm getting out of my bed early in the morning. I'm away from my dog all day. And ultimately, I just wasn't happy doing what I was doing. It was a pleasure working for the people that I worked with and for, but I wasn't happy or fulfilled doing what I was doing. So, I did my research. I posted my products, and guys, it's just, I'm really big on word of mouth. Like, word of mouth and good customer service has gotten me where I am today. That's another thing we'll talk about. So I started an LLC. I opened up a banking and business accounts, and it just went from me baking once or twice or three times a week to doing it every day. So that's where we're at now, pretty much, as far as like introductions go. We're based out of South Florida. We ship all over the United States. And guys, at the end of the day, yes, who doesn't like making money? But like, I live for making people happy and making sure that they have a good experience, because when it's all said and done, that's what you're remembered for. You're only as good as your product. So, I'm very into making people happy, I guess I would say. But that's my introduction. So we started this in 2019. Quis was A1 from day one, and he's very, 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 what's the word I'm looking for?
Amazing.
You are amazing. Creative. Like, you're creative. Like, you do, like, one thing I'll say about you is you don't stop. Like, if one avenue doesn't work, you find another avenue. And if that avenue doesn't work, then you mix those two avenues. And if those two avenues doesn't work, and at the end of the day, Quis was the first person I thought of, because he's been very, very supportive throughout my whole process. And, you need supportive people around you, because let's keep it real. This is Broward County, and we all know how Broward County goes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pass the mic to Quis, so Quis can tell you guys a little bit about himself, and I'll gather my thoughts and figure out what we're going to talk about.
All right, y'all. Well, My rags the richest story isn't as amazing as charities is. But my name's Quis. I'm originally from Hawaii. I did a lot of traveling over my years all over the states. A lot of hustling. I consider myself an entrepreneur. I like to dib and dab and everything. Jack of all trades, master of none. But I still love making it happen. If it's money to be made in it, I don't see a problem with trying it out. You know, um, I started off doing videography, photography when I got out of high school. First major investment I got was a camera. Picked me up a little Canon for like $500. Spent all my graduation money on it, and set out to pretty much be a photographer. Did like schools, concerts, just little stuff here and there. I was, I felt I was all the way into it, but I feel like I can't put all my eggs in one basket because if things don't work out, then I don't want to be the one left SOL. So I tried other things. I got into like selling online. I actually had a cousin who was selling clothes and things like that, like the bootleg designer stuff. So I started getting into that, and from there, pretty much started moving around a little bit more. I think from after that, I went out to Georgia for a couple years and then made my way out to Florida, where ultimately I'm residing right now. I love it. Top 5 places to live in the world. I would consider all the celebrities want to come out here and vacation. Everybody wants to come out here and vacation, and I get to live here, so that's definitely a blessing. Plenty of money to be made out here, so that's awesome as well. If it's money to be spent, I want to find out how they spending it. So got out here, did a little bit of the clothes thing. People out here, they got money, so they ain't really trying to cop no bootleg stuff, and plus I don't really know that many people, so that shit wasn't really hitting. So I got back into the videography and the photography, shot a couple music videos, hit up a couple of the clubs down here I've been to, like Live, and a couple other spots I can't think of the name of. Those are like 5-6 years ago. Like I said, dibble and dabble and everything.
It's been a lot of weed smoke since then.
Yeah, definitely a lot of weed smoke since then. Shit, could have opened up a farm or something. But since then, since around then, for real, I just nowadays I've started my own interior design company where we pretty much give you stuff to put in the crib, stuff to put in your office, just different shit. Like the inspiration behind it came from, I see a lot of women laugh at men for not having shit in their crib and stuff like that. So kind of turned a meme into like a business. Like dudes really don't be having stuff in their crib. So I kind of, bridge that gap, give them things they can put in their stuff to talk about, cheap
That's
stuff,
so smart.
affordable
I
stuff.
never knew that.
Yeah, see, that's where it's at. But dibbling dabbling, I got some smoke shit on there. It's called Valid 954. Y'all make sure to check that out. Got a Shopify store, Facebook, Instagram, all Valid 954. And let me hit the gas real quick. Hold on. I had to bluff for like a minute. I know I ain't motherfuckers like, yo, pass that shit. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. It's going pretty well. I'm trying to learn how to use AI to build my business. I'm always up on the latest trends and what's going on in tech and stuff like that. So actually trying to use AI to run my business, along with a couple other things I'm dabbling. I'm trying to pick the camera back up, get these videos done. It's honestly a blessing for a charity to hit me up and do this, because it's kind of get me back into my loop of recording and stuff. It's been a while since I sat down and did the behind the scenes and some editing and things like that. So it's real cool.
All stuff that I don't know how to do. I can take a picture and a video, baby, but other than that.
And it's cool because I got into editing a long time ago when I was doing the videos and shit like that. But nowadays it's easier, so it's cool to be a part of that as well. It's some good gas.
Appreciate you. It is good though, right?
Yeah, fucks with that.
So basically, guys, in these upcoming, I'm sorry.
That was it.
Oh,
Nah, you good. I was trying to think of something to say, so.
listen, and let me just put this in there. Make note not to edit this out. These are harder than what you think, guys. Cause like we sat here and talked for like an hour, and I've known Quis for like, what are we, 23? Like at least 4 to 5 years, and
Yeah.
like we have plenty of stuff to talk about, and it's still like, so what are we gonna talk about,
Yeah.
guys? Honestly, like I'm gonna tell you what I'm looking to do with this podcast. I'm looking to obviously build my brand, Keys with his brand. And I just feel like, mind you now, both of us ship, all over the
Worldwide.
place. I'm not worldwide, but that's because of custom.
I'm worldwide.
So y'all heard the boy. It don't matter. Your people in Jamaica, Haiti, we go all of that.
They gonna check that? They gonna taste your food? They gonna taste the brownie?
What, custom?
Yeah, they do
That
that.
shit's not.
Okay.
Listen,
You be
I'm
watching that
brave,
show
but
where
I'm
they go
not-
to the-
Listen, I'm not that brave.
They go through the
I'm
metal
not-
detectors and shit.
Listen, I'm not that brave. Yeah.
I hear you.
So again, I'm from Carolina. I've been blessed to run across some good promotions on IG. Shout out at Dizzy Christmas because she is funny as fuck. And she's definitely helped me get my foot in the door on Instagram. So my Instagram presence, I have to give like a really big like shout out to her. But yeah, I mean, again, I want to build my brand. I want to let people know, what's happening. And we're going to be discussing like real life shit. You know what I'm saying?
Real life
We
shit.
curse. I cuss a lot, but I'm going to try to tone it down. But like everyday stuff, again, just as far as like with business, small business alone, people think, and I'll touch on this just while we're here, like, I know I make posts and y'all laugh and shit's funny on Facebook, but I'm being so for real, y'all. Like, being an entrepreneur is hard. It is hard work. Not even if it's just hard, you have to be steady with it. And the first day that you wake up and like, oh, I'm not going to post today, I'll do it tomorrow. Like, listen, we're in 2023. Like, everything is a keystroke away, literally. So, if somebody wants some cookies or somebody wants some Eddies or somebody wants, in your case, an ashtray or a rolling tray or whatever, like, if you don't have it, let's keep it real. Like, we're all about right now. Everybody is about right now. This is not like the 80s and 90s where like internet wasn't popping. Like, if you can't do it, somebody else will.
Facts. And they'll do it faster, cheaper, and in a heartbeat.
Right. And unfortunately, like, that just doesn't pertain to just business anymore. I mean, that pertains to friendships. It pertains to relationships. It pertains to a lot of things. And again, this is all stuff that I want to discuss, and I want to incorporate cannabis into that.
To speak on that one thing she just said, saying that you gotta do this every day as an entrepreneur. You gotta wake up and give that same dedication that you give your job. You wake up with no issues every single day, and you go put that work in for your job. And you got to be able to get up and do that shit for yourself. If you're not willing to do that for yourself, then entrepreneurialism is not the way for you. But if you are, you got to be able to. That's all I'm saying. Like, you got to get up every day and be like, fuck, this is my job, this is my life, this is what I'm doing. And you got to put in that dedication 8 hours a day, like if you was to go work for somebody else. And a lot of people sleep on themselves, and we got to get the understanding that you can make it happen for yourself. You don't have to continue to run this rat race and continue to go make other people millions while they give you pennies. Like,
So true.
you gotta understand that this is about the work that you're willing to put in. It's not that hard. It's just gotta be committed to it.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, I agree with that 100%. Like, slow and steady wins the race at the end of the day. Like, there's now I will disagree with the whole 8 hour a day thing, because like, y'all, if I'm up if I'm not posting, if I'm not baking, if I'm not researching recipes, if
Mm-hmm.
I'm not shopping for, my ingredients,
Mm-hmm.
I'm always doing something from the time I get up in the morning to the time I go to sleep at night. Like, it is Patty's Pastries.
Facts.
Like, and again, and that's another thing I'll talk about. You get burnt out being an entrepreneur,
Yeah, facts.
just like you get burnt
Down
out
at your job.
working any other job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but the thing about being an entrepreneur is, that was a big word, entrepreneurialism. Is that even a
I don't know if
word?
it's a
If
word.
it's not,
Somebody
it
gonna
is one now. Because I'm like, how do
somebody
you
gonna
spell
fact check me
that?
like entrepreneurialism.
Liz will be the one to be
Okay.
like, tell Marquise that was not a word.
We're making it a word.
Right, it's a word today. So, yeah, guys, we just want to like take you along, and you guys can help us grow our journey. Like, I want to touch on topics that not everybody is going to be comfortable talking about. And that's, I'll go ahead and put a trigger warning on this podcast, because there's going to be a lot of things that are discussed that, is not for everybody, and that's cool. But if I reach one person and inspire one person to, want to do better with themselves, then
We
that's
winning.
right.
That's a win.
Ooh, that's like that.
That's a win. And that's all it's about. Inspiring somebody else. You ain't gotta inspire the whole world to change, but if you inspire one person, that person inspires someone else, like you're making a difference. And honestly, that's what this world needs. Good people, good vibes, good conversations. And we here to provide some shit that y'all need to hear.
No, definitely, y'all, and like, we just gonna tell y'all, it's not just me and Quis here. We got a third party. He's just sitting here nodding his head like we talking about some real shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
We got nods the whole time. I think we good. We certified on this podcast. We going cool.
this one is definitely. I will say this, like, I love being in Broward. Broward and Dade have been great, big, contributors to my
Facts.
business. But like, at the end of the day, like, we're bigger than Broward, and I want to be bigger than Broward. Like, it's great to put on at home, but think about how great it is for, everybody knows Miami. Everybody knows, like, Fort Lauderdale. But like, and here recently, like, Broward's been a little bit more like in headlines and stuff like that. But like, Broward offers some pretty rad shit.
Facts.
But just like there's a lot of people that don't know about Broward, there's a lot of people that don't know about us.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if it's, again, this is something I have no idea what I'm doing. But I just know, and I've been told all my life that I'm funny. And it's like, bro, if Charlemagne can do it,
Anybody can
anybody can do it.
That's
And
word.
one thing about me is, like, I'm definitely gonna represent where I'm from. Like, I love Carolina. Carolina raised me, but like, I'm from Florida at the end of the day, for real. Like,
I've been here long enough to be a Florida boy myself too, so
yeah, but I'm like, I want to get into, like, my main objective is to, like, I want 4 shops, and then, like, I want a nonprofit. So I'm all about, like, giving back and helping the community, because that's who makes us. So, everybody's like, oh, when I blow, I'm going to watch out for the hood. I'm going to this, I'm going to do, and some people do, like, but,
why can't we do that now?
like, right.
Help when you can.
Right.
Like, you ain't gotta have a
And
million
like,
to get back.
and I'm big on, like, I'm also, like, not one that's like, oh, let me go feed the homeless and stick a camera in their face. That shit pisses me off.
I hear you.
So yeah, like, I want to help people. I want to help animals. I want to help the elderly. I want to help kids. Like, there's so many things that I feel like we have the potential to do, but you guys have to help us.
Facts.
And like, at the end of the day, like, you're at home sitting on the couch not doing anything.
You can make a difference.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, you can make a difference right now. Just call.
That's it, guys. So that's the main objective. Like, and I picked In a Pinch with Patty because it's like, yes, you know, my Facebook, I have like business pages and stuff like that, but, and that's great. You know, there's different audiences for different things, and I just know, like, I know who I associate with, I know who I'm friends with, like-minded people, but like, I just want more of that, and I want to be able to capitalize on that. And if it takes like plugging some shit in for 30 minutes a week, then that's what
it'll take.
I'm down to do.
It's willing to try too, cause it's not that hard. If you got something you want to do, yo, fucking make that shit happen.
Yeah, but I just think, you know, a lot of people, and I'll tell you straight up, like, you know, when I was at work, maybe like the last 6 months prior to COVID, I was just like, I'm tired of this shit. And I used to tell you that shit all the fucking time. And guys, like, don't get it twisted. I was really good at what I did.
Very fucking good.
But it's like, when you're tired and you don't like it anymore, it's time to move on.
Being burnt out is real.
Yeah, and that's not just for, you know,
work. It's
that's
a lot
not
of
just
things.
for work. That's for relationships, friendships, freaking family members, whatever.
Your
like,
environment, just
all
you can
of
be
that.
burnt out on a lot of things, and being burnt out is a real ass thing.
Yeah.
Once you can't take it no more, you really can't take it. You can't lie to yourself. You can't bullshit. You can't fake the funk. You just at one point you just
it had gotten to the point where, and you know, a lot of people know who, you know, I worked for and with, and I love them. And
they was awesome.
To this day, I love them. But like, it wasn't the people, it was the
work.
things. You know what I'm saying?
That's
It wasn't
facts.
even necessarily the work. It was just like, that environment was so stressful. Like, I would wake up in the morning and be like, fuck, I do not want to go to work today. But I mean, that still happened. That's what I said. Like, that still happens. Like, don't think like if you, and I'm not saying this to discourage anybody, but I'm just saying, like, don't think like, oh, I'm gonna make my own hours, I don't have to answer the news, because at the end of the day, you still have to answer to people. You have to answer to some biz for your LLC. You got to answer to your banks and these credit bureaus for your funding. Like, you have to answer to a lot of people. But the biggest person for me to answer to is myself.
I was about to say that. You got to answer to yourself.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like, if you wake up and you're not, like, I'm big on fulfillment. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't feel like I'm getting something out of
the work you're putting in,
you go to work to get paid.
Yeah.
You know, you're in a relationship
to get happiness out of it.
You know, comfort, happiness, stability. Like, so if you're not getting these things out of what you're spending your time in, then there's no point in doing it.
That's facts.
And like, to me, the big thing was like, what am I gonna do when I'm like 65? Like, I spent all my life working in an office. I don't see day. We live in one of the most beautiful places in the world.
I mean, in the
not the world, but you know, the country. It's but when it's all said and done, it's like I would go to work in the morning, and I would leave, and it would be dark
already.
Whole day gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
all week long, then you get your 2 days where you try to catch up on sleep.
Yeah, and then not even that, you gotta clean the house, you gotta do your yard, you gotta go to the grocery store. Yeah, it's just like, so again, it's a lot of but okay, I'll say this. There's a lot of things that I miss about working as well, and I'll touch on that. So I miss leaving my house every day, going to see something else and do something else.
Okay, that's
you know
a good
what I
way
mean?
to look at
I
it.
miss like the
human interaction.
Socializing, because I don't have that. Like, yeah, I'm on Facebook. Facebook's great. IG's great, but
it's
like
different when you out there.
at the end of the day, like, and then like COVID messed us up too. So
then
we're
you had y'all
already
working from home and shit.
Yeah, I'm already working from home.
Yeah.
I'm cool and I'll speak and I like having fun, but like it's not even safe to go to Walmart anymore. Let's just keep it real. So like going to clubs and all that shit, like I'm not on that anymore. So it's like, yes, I miss actually going into work and seeing people. What else do I miss? I miss that no matter what, on Friday I'm gonna have a paycheck.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, even if you fucked off, they gotta pay you.
Yeah.
And like, you don't have that luxury
When you work for yourself.
When you're working for yourself.
You fuck off, you know that money ain't gonna be the same on Friday.
Right, because y'all, I'm gonna keep it real. Listen, I'll be in here having a bad day and be like, you know what, let me just pop 2 gummies. Fuck around, pop 2 gummies, and be gone whole day. I missed out on a whole day of work. People call my phone, text my phone, I got messages on Facebook, and it's like, again, there's so many episodes that we're gonna touch on, but it's just like, I want y'all to know, it does work. It definitely works. Like, I miss not being able to travel. Because like
when you gone, you're not making money.
I don't have paid vacation.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So now like, and if I'm sick, even worse, thank God I have not been sick in like years. And I used to get sick fucking once a month when I work. That's crazy.
Working with the people.
Yeah, it's true. But like, one thing that I did, and you know this as well, like I would be in the wind. What? I'm gone. Like,
out of there.
So now it's like owning your own business. Like, yeah, you put money to the side, but like I put money to the side so like if something happens to me physically and I can't fucking work, you know what I'm saying? Like,
not vacation money. Now you got to make 2 sides.
Yeah, and then on top of you having to, so you're putting money in savings, you're paying your bills, but then you have to fund your business, and then you want to go on vacation, and then the whole time you're gone, you're missing
out on money.
All of that money. And nobody talks about this. You know what I'm saying? Nobody talks. If I had, that would be the one thing that if I could like offer people would be just like do your research. Because like the past 6 months, like I tell people straight up, like I researched and researched and researched and researched. Like, and if it wasn't for COVID, I probably still would be working in somebody's job because I was scared to like bet on myself.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but bet on yourself because at the end of the day, you give yourself the best odds.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck a scratch off. Fuck a what are they called?
Fuck the
Pick
lottery.
3. Yeah, like I mean, like, them gummies got you gone. The gummies got me gone. I ain't even busted the guard.
That's why I had you the scissors. I knew I wasn't wrong. I watched her not open it. That's why I had you the scissors.
That's crazy.
I was like, when did she bust that? I got the bag right here.
I was like, oh, she was rolling under the table while she was talking. She's a
Yo,
pro.
That's crazy. Look, you
got
got the grinder right here and all that. I'm like, yo, okay. I was like, maybe she did. I don't know.
Featuring Letty, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Featuring Letty. I don't even know how she was quiet this long. That's crazy.
Oh, man.
Alright, you can pause it for right now, because welcome back.
Hey.
We had to roll up, y'all.
Y'all know the business. Smoke break.
Listen, shameless plug. Buy some gummies, because baby, let me tell you about Patty's Pastries. Alright, y'all. But getting back on track, let's see. We were talking about like betting on yourself. So as far as like betting on yourself, like, guys, sometimes betting on yourself is getting up out of bed in the morning, like straight up, like just being like, yo, it's a bad day, but I'm gonna bet on myself, and I know like at the end of the day, like, and that's one thing that I loved about you, Quis, like when I used to come into work and like I tell anytime like I talk about you or like reference you, I'm like, listen, my dog Quis, like, you may have had plenty of bad days, but there was plenty of times where, I mean, yo, it was like you never had a bad day. You always like, good morning, how you doing? Like, and that means a lot, just to have like positivity is
a lot. That shit vibrates to people.
detrimental. Yeah, like
it makes a lot of difference.
And it's a mindset. It's not just a word. Like, you have to like train yourself into being. I was very like pessimistic, and I mean, sometimes I'm like, am I pessimistic or am I realistic? But then like pessimism can definitely become a part of your reality. So, you know what I mean? You can be realistic at the same time, but still not know that you're negging yourself out.
Yeah, facts.
You know, so, and that was one thing, listen, at least a good 15 years was like, smile, smile, smile. And people are like, oh, you know, fake it till you make it. I wouldn't say it's like faking it, because I definitely don't think that you should fake it. I feel like, you know, if anything, you should deal with your feelings or your emotions or whatever. But sometimes you have to just tell yourself like, bro, I'm gonna have a good day.
Facts.
So
I learned it's easier, I forgot who said the quote, but it's easier to feel yourself into action, or it's actually easier to act yourself into feeling a certain way than it is to try to make yourself feel better before you act on it. So like in the morning time, if you wake up like, man, this is a shit day, blah blah blah, you're not gonna get up and do what you want to do. But if you get up and you start doing that, and regardless if it's a shit day or not, you're in motion. You keep that ball rolling, and pretty much you got nothing to worry about after that, because you just, as long as the ball is rolling, you keep shit going.
Yeah, routine is important.
Very.
That's another thing that I'll, you know, another piece of advice that I could like throw out there. Like, my morning routine is like, I get up, obviously you do the essentials, but like one of the first things I'm doing, I don't care if it's 8 o'clock, you know, some days I have those days where I done got on them gummies and I wake up, you know, 9:30, 10, but one thing that I do is try to stay consistent. And have that routine, because the first thing that I try to do before I do anything else, you know, thanking God and all that, like, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go through what I have and I'm gonna post it on Facebook.
Let the world know what's up.
Right.
That's what
because
gets
it's
businesses
like,
open. It's just like if you were at a brick and mortar spot, you open them doors up, let the world know what's up.
Right. So, I mean, that's why I say, as far as like consistency is key, like, especially in what I do. You know what facts. I'm saying? Because, like, I smoke. Let me call my plug, and my plug be like, oh, I'm out of town, or, oh, you know, all right, cool, I'm going to call the next person. And it's like, I know that I offer a great product. You know what I'm saying? I won't say I'm the best, but I'm striving. But I know my product is great. But at the end of the day, I also have enough humility to know I'm not irreplaceable. Like, this is not Beyonce. Like, this is Broward County, and what one person won't, another person will. So, you know, you gotta get up, you gotta bang it out every day. So that's why I was like, just, you know, rewinding and saying that 8 hours, like, I give so much more than 8 hours. Yeah. Like, if anything, like 12 to 15. But again, that's part of
what it takes to be that.
What it takes to be the boss.
Yeah.
Like, you know, ultimately, you know, my main goal, and I've talked about this with Liz. Most of you guys know that Liz is my best friend. So if you hear me reference her, shout out to Liz, guys.
Shout out to Liz.
But yeah, like, one thing about, you know, Liz and I, like, we're always like shooting ideas back and forth, like, and she's very like, if you don't have a supportive friend, get you a supportive friend.
Need that.
And if you don't have a supportive friend, you gotta be your own supportive friend until you find one that's gonna be supportive. Because I'm gonna tell you straight up, there's been days where
support your friends.
Definitely support your friends.
Be that supportive friend.
And it's just like, bro, this is what blows me. You know what I'm saying? And I know we're getting a little off topic here, but we'll do that a lot. It's supposed to be an introduction, but hello world.
40 minutes in.
Right. My whole thing is like, there's so many people that just like sharing is free. It takes 2 seconds. Liking a post will change that algorithm. Commenting a fucking emoji. You know what I'm saying? So I have plenty of people that, you know, for whatever their employment purposes or whatever, that they can't support me in that way. But there's people that I have never met that share my shit every fucking day. Every day. And like just that alone is like, that's humbling. Because definitely. Like to have somebody believe in you enough to put their face on the front and be like, oh, I recommend this person. Like, I'll tell you straight up, like, it's not because I'm popular. You know what I'm saying? Yes, like people know who I am now, but that's like 4, almost 5 years of like really hard work. You know what I'm saying? So it does not happen overnight. And it's like,
that is a humbling experience when somebody you don't know, like you got people who know you, see you, talk to you every day. Your people who say you down for you, do whatever for you, but they ain't did nothing. Like shit is free to help your friends out. Like it's definitely understandable with the like mixing your stuff that you know you can't show off to your employment and stuff, but there's other ways to support that are free as well, like sharing shit to people. I can't even think right now because I'm high.
Telling a friend to tell a friend.
There you go, word of mouth. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, no, listen. Anybody will tell you. I went to school for business. Anybody will tell you in the advertising world, the best form of advertising is word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
You know what I mean? Like you can go read a great review. I do it every day. You know, the first thing I think, I wonder if they paid somebody to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Nice. But like, if I call you and I'm like, oh, Quis, like, who details cars really good? You be like, oh, my homie such and such. I'm gonna take that because like, A, you know me, and B, like, you're not gonna send me to somebody that's garbage, right?
That's true.
So, and I'm very big on that too, like. And that's going to be a sensitive topic that we touch on. Like, just because you can support your friend's business without supporting their business. Like, point blank, period. Like, my friend, there's plenty of my friends that do stuff that, you know, I don't use or we're not even going to talk about how much stuff that I have bought and paid for just to give away. Because it's like, what's $5 or $10, bro? Like that might be the only sale somebody gets for that whole day.
Yeah, that makes a difference.
That might be, you know what I'm saying? If I don't get any sales today, I'm gonna quit. You know what I mean? Like I've been there. But that's again, you gotta go to like betting on yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like social media is like a blessing and a curse. Because it's like, it's great because you can advertise yourself for pretty much free. You can like, you know, show everybody whatever you want to show them and people can share your posts and stuff like that. But it's also like, people steal your ideas too, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
People steal your ideas. They steal your concepts. They steal your presentation.
Your whole style.
Listen, it's crazy, and I've had that happen to me, and people are like, you know, I've had people like literally inbox me saying, and this is not shooting shots at anybody, but I've had several people inbox me and be like, oh, do you know this person? Like their shit looks just exactly like yours. And it's like people are like, you know, you have certain people that, oh, imitation is the best form of flattery. Let me tell you how I feel about that. I feel like, to a certain extent, it is flattering. You know what I mean? If you take an idea or you see something that I've done that worked for me and make it work for you, I can appreciate that. And then you go on about your business. You know what I'm saying? But to like just steady feed off of a person, and people really do that. And like, and it's not like, you know, listen, when people used to like approach me with that, at first I would be like, oh, you know, it's cool, whatever. And then it just got to a point of like, no, it's disrespectful.
Yeah, that is
like,
disrespectful.
I sit in this kitchen
coming up with concepts, coming up with ideas, coming up with
Yeah, I mean,
shit.
even like I'm shopping for stuff that's not even offered in Florida, so I can put it into, you already know, like candies, chocolates. Like I bake with shit from Sweden. You know what I mean? Like they can try to copy
Imitate
and
it,
imitate
but it's
all
not
of, you know
gonna
what I
be a
mean?
Patty's
But it's
pastry.
like, again, that's what sets me apart from the next person. But I will tell you, like, that's frustrating. But I'll also tell you, as being positive, you can let the negativity eat you up and be like, oh, they're doing it, so I'm not gonna do it. No, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like my mentality has always been like,
Keep going.
I'm gonna be the best at what I do, so everybody else is just gonna have to try to keep up. And like that's why you cannot, another thing, being an entrepreneur, you cannot be complacent. Like you might have a fucking $3,000-$4,000 week, and that's great. I've had them. But there's also weeks where I've made like $600. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I go to thinking like, the fuck am I gonna do with $600? Because like, once you get accustomed to living a certain way,
And
I lived good before, you know what I'm saying? Before I ventured out on my own.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you gotta keep up with that.
there's definitely been weeks where I've been like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, for real.
That's them hard times.
And you get scared. And like, there's definitely been times where I'll be like, oh man, I'm gonna have to go back to work. But then I'm like, I cannot see, once you have like fully worked for yourself and taking care of yourself, and it's not gonna be easy, but I'm just saying, even struggling doing it, somebody else telling you what to do just is not what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not what's happening. So that's what's really kept me into like,
Keep going.
I mean, so let me just put this out there. If I ever had to go back to work for somebody, I would. You gotta do what you gotta do. But at the end of the day, like, listen, I'm not too good to do it, but I would exhaust any like avenue that I had to exhaust. I just can't see like answering to somebody else or punching a clock. Like, you can't put a figure on how much I'm worth. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I think about it now, I'm like, and keeping it real, like, you gotta be close to me for me to like bake you some regular shit. Because charging $40 or $50 for a pan of brownies I mean, it's expensive, but my ingredients and my time are expensive. I'm not just charging you for my ingredients. It takes 40 minutes for me to watch your brownies while they're in the oven. Off rip. We're not talking about how much it costs me in ingredients, my time, like, so it's like, I forgot where I was going with that, but
It's
what
all
happens
good.
when you
Yo.
get high. Yeah.
That's what the guys do. I
Edit
told you I
that
had one of those a couple minutes ago. But shit, that's what it's about, yo. Like, showing up for yourself every single day, no matter what. Like, and you got to be willing to have those days that are hard, those weeks that are hard, even those months that are hard. Like, every fucking month is not gonna be $4,000 months or $4,000 weeks. You're gonna have some shortcomings, and you're gonna be like, "Fuck, is this worth it?" But you got to push through those, because eventually it's gonna balance itself out. And as long as you stay positive, you know, you.
Yeah, if I had to like say something in regards to that, I would say like, in past experience, I would say that's one of the best things that I could have had in my corner is to know sales. And if you know sales, then you know all it takes is like one day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
One day could change everything.
I've made 2 racks in a day selling fucking brownies and cookies. Like, legit.
Brownies and cookies, 2 racks. And it's not no millionaire entrepreneurs giving y'all game either. This is real people going through the same shit that y'all are going through, having the same problems, the same everything. So like,
yeah, and like that's the thing, and that's another now, and we'll like really, this will be an episode within itself, but like, shit has not always been like a sunshine state. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a whole other life before Florida, and like shit was not easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been on my own since I was 15 by choice, but like it didn't just start here. Like, but it's crazy how you can like go through so much shit, and then you just one day wake up and be like, you know what, like, I'm so much smarter than that. I'm so much better than that. Like, why did I even like give that time and energy? But like, that also makes you who you are.
That's true.
So I think like people that don't know me, you know, again, like, I'm friendly, but I'm not like, I don't have a lot of friends, if that makes sense. And it's just life experience. Like, I know a lot of people think I'm like younger than I am.
Definitely.
But like, bro, I'm 40 years old. You know what I'm
never
saying?
guessed
Like,
it, yo.
yeah, like, that's because I don't smoke crack. Stay off drugs, guys.
Shit.
But like, yeah, you know, that again, that's when it comes to like faking it till you make it. But I don't feel like I faked anything. I just feel like, you know, you can have lived your life a certain way, and then like, and I'm just referencing like street life. Like, I was in the streets, like, again, by choice, but like, I got in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went to jail. Like, and a lot of people don't know that. I'm just being 100% transparent. A lot of people don't know, because like, I'm a firm believer in people change too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did a lot of shit when I was dumb. I did a lot of dumb shit when I was young.
A lot of shit when I was dumb.
You know, a lot of shit when I was dumb. That's true. But like, I definitely feel like people can change, but you gotta put the effort into. You gotta put the effort into that. You can't just wake up and be like, you know what? This is who I am today. You have to put work into being a better person
every day.
And it's crazy because like, when I go back to Carolina, and again, I'm not shooting shots at anybody, but when I go back to Carolina, I see the same people doing the same shit, working the same fucking mediocre, you know. Again, I'm not looking down on anybody, but these are people that I went to college that have a degree and are working at a fucking plant. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I'm so glad like I bet on myself and took a chance on myself. And that shit, I have done it with nothing. I have done it without a car. I've done it without a crib of my own. Like, so y'all will get to like know me throughout, you know, following episodes, but I worked hard, you know what I'm saying?
Started from the bottom, now we here.
But yeah, guys, I definitely want you guys to follow along, because I really feel like there's something in this for somebody. And this episode, it might be you. Next episode, it might be somebody else. But I'm a firm believer, like, if God places something on my heart, like, multiple times, then that's something that I need to be doing. So I know that this podcast is gonna, like, really reach who it needs to reach. And maybe it's you, maybe it's not, maybe you tell somebody about it, but I can tell you this, you're gonna get some fire-ass tea, you're gonna get some good current events, gonna try my best to stay away from politics, but like, it is what it is. You're gonna get some good recipes, and we're gonna hit these streets and get involved with the community. So I mean, from me to you, this is my invitation to join with us, and you know, again, let's see what we can do to make a better Broward. And at the end of the day, this is In a Pinch with Patty,
and
featuring
Quis.
Peace.